Hello everyone, this is Fanatic62 streaming Approaching Infinity. It's kind of a space roguelike game. It's an interesting little one. It's worth checking out. A couple of rounds we've played before, so we're picking up with the existing game. I believe where we left off a little while ago, I had finished a quest and gone back a couple of sectors, so I believe... Oh, we're still recharging here, as is evident by down here you can see, let's just, oh, here we go. So down here you can see the cooldown is still 75 to go, so we're just gonna wait. Actually, we'll probably head over to, did we not finish this? Oh yeah, this was done, okay. It just hangs out still. So we'll wait a few rounds here, and then we will go ahead and fill up on our supplies before moving back forward to the next sector, which is basically just fill up there. Nothing to sell, anything good to buy. Oh, what do we have here? Ooh, armor. I don't have enough money for that. The engine is not better, and the suit is no, I don't think so. The suit, the reason I'm not moving forward, although it has higher HP for the crew, it has less oxygen, a lower range, and a lower damage reduction. Damage reduction is important because that's how you get to more difficult planets. There are, you can see here, like there's a planet right here that's a toxic planet and has environmental damage of 19. You need a damage reduction of 19 in order to get to that planet. Let's see, moving back. We are ready to go. Great. And we're gonna have to do a whole bunch of waiting again. I don't remember, did I clear everything here? Looks like I got all these ships. There's a black hole, that's fun. Frozen planet, that's a good example. They have damage of 3. I think it's the toxic 19. Alright. Oh, you know what I want to do? Have I been to 7? Do that, nothing here. Anything good to buy? Oh, you see, okay. So that again reduces the damage reduction. Increase, it's a big increase in HP and oxygen. Improvement to speed. That's tempting. That damage reduction, though, that's important to get to do different. The scanner's the same. Okay. So anyways, we will, oh, the one thing I believe that I had to do, installation, the trade beacon I want to install now, over the medical bay. We can switch that back out at the time comes. Ooh. Oh, well, yeah, I want to install that. Didn't realize that I had a better shotgun over the current weapon that I have. So we're going to install that over my needle shotgun. It was pretty much better and everything. We'll hold on to that, hold on to water walkers, and the hazmat shield. And we're going to then go to the crafting station. You can salvage things that you don't need anymore, and this needle shotgun we do not need, so we're going to do that. And what that does is it gives you parts, and then that breaks it down into parts, and then you can use the parts to craft new things. However, I'm holding off on building anything new early on. Your skills aren't very good, and so you don't generally make anything that's better than what you currently have. But if you look at your officer's abilities, right now I'm working on the captain. As they get better skills, this efficient construction, as you can see here, it takes one fewer part to build an item. Right now, I already have this one that reduces it to needing 4 parts to build an item. I would like to get that, and then there's also another skill that improves your the construction of the quality of the items that you construct. Let's put it that way. And right now, no, this person's ready to promote. Sweet. So right now they have marksman with precise aim, and the skill, the away team's effective firing range can be increased, which is pretty good actually. Alright, so let's see what else we can do. Targeting. Increase ship weapons damage, that's helpful. Increase away team HP and damage, that's helpful. Weapon cooldown and supply use. that could be good, the weapon cooldown. That's always nice to have a lower one. Do more melee, increase sidearm range, which it was already at the first level. Protects weapons and sensors from damage. Improve crafting results. Oh, so there's a crafting one on this person as well. More power to shields, increase shield and recharge amount, and then reaction strike, automatic melee strike back. Not really necessary. You could probably pair that with the melee, do more melee damage, and that's probably pretty devastating to when things attack you. As long as that doesn't, it can probably be good because that probably doesn't take your attack turn when you're on the planet, which we'll get to when we see that. So. Chat here. So anyways, what I would probably lean towards in this situation would be would either be the range or the increase the weighting. Ship weapon damage would be helpful though once we're coming up on this. But I think we can probably increase the crafting, so improve crafting results. That's very tempting. Let's go ahead though. We're gonna do the away team HP and damage. That helps them survive while they're down on the planet. All right, so we still have a while to cool down here. Blow through this, and then it'll be nice to try and find a better warp drive that you can skip 2 sectors at a time, and then it won't be quite as tedious as this, but that's not quite as important. Although what I really need to do is gotta make sure we have enough supplies. Alright, move on to sector 7, which I've apparently already covered. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. That's done. Black hole, shipwreck's basically done. Pirate ship done. Frozen planet done. Radiated planet damage 30. Can't go to that. Toxic. Can't go to that. Alright, so it looks like we're skipping ahead again to the next level. So we're going to just wait again for a while, unfortunately. But the next one, I believe there is a planet sector 9 is infested with the burning essences. That's going to suck. Those things are terrible. Please bring us an artifact. Oh. I think I need another artifact to give that. Alright, rich natural deposits. And Sector 8, which is coming up next. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's just wait this one out. Alright, down 70, 60, 50. Fortunately a little tedious, but I have not been to the next sector, so it should be a little more entertaining once we get there. I already have 9 of those, so let's report. Defensive piercing rocket. That's a massive drop in damage. I don't think we can afford to do that. Alright, so, and cloaking devices, they seem like they'd be great, but they take away your shield, and they generally have a pretty long, you see that cooldown of 55, it's a pretty significant cooldown, so you have to really get yourself out of harm's way in order to get away from something. Generally, you're jumping sectors or something like that if you get into a bad situation. But I've always found shields to be a little more helpful, and you also can't switch out the different ship components while it's cooling down. Let's make sure that there's nothing here. Yeah, we're not selling anything. Okay. Okay. Sector 8 unexplored. There's rich in natural deposits of whatever that is. Collect 15 and return them. And that is a quest. Alright. So, earlier you saw me go to installation and I installed the ship devices. Here we go. Come on, ship devices. This trade beacon. and that was so that it would show me where the beacon was. You have to have it installed when you first warp into a sector, or else it doesn't actually help you. You can't get in there and then install it. So it's kind of one of those things, the last thing you want to do before warping to new sectors, install that. And then I'm going to go and reinstall the medical bay. And we're going to do it over the trade beacon. And now that we know where it is, we can kind of plan accordingly with our exploration. Oh, and I'm finding that stuff that they were talking about. And does that take up cargo space? No, it does not. So that's cool. There's a ship that we'll come back to. Just explore, find our stuff. What is that? That is a dying planet, damage 75. That's pretty cool. We have no chance of exploring that right now, unfortunately. So another thing is that you can kind of come back to explore planets that you were unable to do before to pick up, data. And data is basically, when you explore things, you just go and sell data. It's basically a way of making money so you can buy better stuff. It's just a constant flow of cash. As you can see right here, I'm generating more data as I explore more areas here. See the number going up, and then basically when you go to the trade beacons, the trade depots, and I'm running low on supplies. Going here. Alright, so options for when you come into the station lobby, you can buy restock on supplies, which is basically just how you fly your ship around. It's a way of stopping you from just flying your ship indefinitely, never worrying about flying around, so you always have to stop back in and buy more supplies. And then here's selling all the data for cash. So I'm actually going to do the supplies, well outweigh that. And oh, that sucks. So this is an officer. Unfortunately, he will cost $28,000, and I do not have, or 28,000 credits. I do not have 28,000 credits. The best I can do is you really need that, and I install that. What do we? Oh. Actually, do I not have 18 of those things yet? I can pick up a new contract here. I could theoretically sell. That still wouldn't give me enough money. I probably am not going to get there. We'll sell all of these. You just find basically you find all of these pieces, antimatter, nanowood. They're just items that you pick up and you just sell. Again, just a way of getting cash. You can theoretically play the markets and find the places that sell them for better prices in different places and try and do that. It can be worth your time if you especially with some of these at the bottom here, when the price is jacked up on them. I've never really found it to be particularly imperative that you do that. I mean, I guess early on you could probably make a bunch more money quickly, but I haven't really found that to be necessary. That is not really better, and then the shotgun is not better. That would be better, however. I just don't have enough money. Always running out of money. That's, cool. Alright. Let's see. Oh, there's... Oh, jeez, I was one short. And there's 12,000. Now I have 25,000. Now I'm pretty close. Oh, it's a different person, I think. So now I'm, only like 3,000 off? Yeah, that's tough. I might be able to go hit a planet, and I might be able to make enough. Alright, so let's see about hitting one of these planets here. So when you're on a planet's surface, you're now limited. Instead of supplies, you have oxygen, which is this blue bar here. And every space you move is one oxygen that it uses up, or every turn, let's put it that way, that it goes by is one oxygen. And you replenish your oxygen by heading back to your spaceship landing point, which is right here, your shuttle. So you can basically head over here, boom, you get it. That's some kind of insect. Yeah, this shotgun's way better than the last one I had. And again, it's basically just explode. Ooh, a cave. Now that is how we might actually be able to get that enough money to hire that new officer. the deal with officers is that, as was kind of alluded to earlier when we were looking at upgrading this one, as they have different skills that as they gain XP, either just by being on the ship or by flying around, or by going down for away team missions. They actually gain more XP on away team missions. The reason you'll see here, actually these green lights here indicate that these people are on the away team mission, as is that 3-star. They're saying there's 3 officers on it. My captain is not, because you find in this game it's a good way to get XP, and that's a good trade-off, except that if your captain dies on an away team mission, it's game over. I am playing it as a normal roguelike, and then I'm playing permadeath, so as soon as my ship is destroyed or the captain dies on the surface, it's game over. So initially you think, I'm good enough this game, I can get away with doing it, and then eventually you get into a bad situation and your guys get killed, you wipe on the planet surface. While you would be able to rebuild your crew, and it might be a little slow going to get a better crew back up and running, you could at least continue playing your game. If your captain's in the away team, it's game over. So basically, it's a risk reward. It's most decent games. That's what you're looking for. All right, so one thing that I found last time out, there's a I should refill oxygen. Last round, I actually hadn't played this build of the game in quite some time, and one of my officers, so I kind of upgraded both of them, and in this one here I did blood interest, which is collect blood, gives to gain data. Yeah, it's like whatever, a little bit more data, some more money. And then fieldcraft, picking up items heals the away team. I was having problems with healing the away team because I didn't have the best officer. There's a skill out there that basically just automatically heals them over time. That's like a surgeon or something like that. And I found that I don't know if this was intended by the developer when he did this, or if he just didn't test these two together. But basically, now when you pick up blood, you gain data and it heals your team, which is great. It's really a boon. I actually found it by accident. Didn't even realize that's what was going to be happening. You can actually see the blood here. Now, I did not pick these up because I didn't take any damage while I was on the surface here. And I find it's better, since I don't have an automatic way of healing, that if my team gets into trouble, I can come back and heal by picking up this blood on the surface. But we're going to check out this cave. These caves are actually a really good way of... Oh, see, I already picked up supply storage. I can probably just sell that. That's a major thing. I'm actually going to have to go back. Oops. And see, I'm taking poison damage, but I'm going to pick up that blood there, and that blood there. There's a guy killed over here. Now, the whole time I'm using oxygen, and I am going to have to go back to the surface now, because I did not pick up any oxygen while I was down here. And how far is this? 53. Okay, so it was only like 17 away. But what we're going to do is we're going to pick up that, pick up that, pick up that. And there was a few more here that I can pick up. Might as well. Okay. That's basically enough. The good thing about caves is they will keep going down. Some of them can be endless, but the key to it is that you have to... There are, like, oxygen deposits, if you will. Oh, shit. Right, like this guy right here. Alright, this right here, you don't want to... That's a cave-in trap, and you don't want to go near that, because it can really hurt your team, and like I said before, I don't have a good way of automatically replenishing. But you see here, I have 87 oxygen. I'm going to pick that up. Now I'm back up to 103, which is good. It means I can just keep hanging out down here. Ah, crap. See? And this is where not having an automatic way of healing is kind of... Oh, that's good. And there's a cave in. Alright, we're going to pick up that blood. Probably should have gone with the extra. Shit. So my team's in pretty bad shape health-wise. I also did not see... Oh, and that is when things tend to suck. And that's why the captain's not on there. So the loss of all the officers killed as well. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of officers that were killed. That kind of sucks. Did I get... I did get that supply storage back. Well, that's a different person and they're cheaper. That's actually not a very good skill. I mean, it's not the worst. So I have to rehire crew. And I'm also going to sell this supply storage. Gives me some cash. Alright, screw it. We need somebody. Alright, we'll go into officers here, and we're going to put you back on the away team. Well, that kind of sucks. But that's pretty much why you don't put the captain on there, because that can happen. And it really is best to be cautious when you're exploring these areas. I really shouldn't have probably put my team in there. I should probably, when their health was so low, I should have pulled back out. Is really the best way to go. You shouldn't really try and push it because it usually rolls out like that. So that kind of sucks. That took a few different sectors to build up that crew, and they all just wiped. So we'll see how things go from here. This might be a short game. Alright. So that planet was basically done anyways, and I don't really want to go back down there because those frogs were wrecking everybody. Alright. Oh. Properly. Oh, that's a there we go. Good example. This is a barren planet, and the environmental damage is 10, and I can only take up to 5. So that would be why I can't really go there. Let's do this. Okay, so now we're on a ship here. There's actually some blood that doesn't make a difference because those people are dead. So now I can't pick it up. So now I have to be very careful. That's a force field, which means that there is something to trip elsewhere. Category ceramic armor. Ooh, that could be good. We're actually going to go back and drop that off. So every time you also go back to the shuttle, you transfer the cargo that you picked up, which is a good way. Nano machines. This is a space zombie. As you can see, the target, they show you the information here. I already did a pretty significant amount of damage. He's a medium threat, and this is the weapon that I'm using. I have a sonic knife. You can just push into them and you melee, and that generally does more damage. Alright, I picked up a bunch of... Oh, and 2 crafting parts. That's good, too. Alright. Okay. Let's go drop this stuff off. Oh. Damn space zombies. Oh, there's the trigger. I'm actually going to explore the rest of the ship first. They tend to have a lot of bad guys in these areas when they're kind of blocked off like this. So I usually find it's best to check out everything first so that if you kind of collect all the parts that you can, all the different pieces, anything you can sell, and that way if there are way more guys than you can handle, you can just get out of there, and you're not leaving everything on the ship behind. And gotta go around that radiation. Oh man, it sucks that all those people died earlier. Okay, I think it looks like we've pretty much explored everything that we can. So I'm gonna go and... Yeah, it's kind of an annoying thing that you always have to go back. The better this... When you get better suits, you can hold a lot more oxygen. Oh, actually, we can go down here. Hold on, this is probably gonna be... Good. You can hold a lot more oxygen, which means you don't have to return to the shuttle nearly as often. You know, and like any other thing, it kind of improves over time. Now, where was that switch? I think it was up here. Yeah. There's your switch. Yep, there are a... Yep. These are... Squither larva. They're just basically, they hang out in an egg until you get close, and then it explodes, and they're kind of all over the place. And there's, is that up? Yeah, there you go. One good thing is you see these explosions that are happening all around. Because I have a shotgun, it has an adjacent attack of 3, so it'll actually hit 3 squares around it, up to 3 targets around the one that you're shooting with the same attack, which is pretty helpful when you're taking out groups like that, especially. All right, that was not bad. Okay, got a bunch of stuff out of this. Go back to the shuttle. Yay, everyone survived. All right. So let's, oh, yep, we have more stuff than we can hold, so we're going to go and we're going to sell everything here. Yep, there's all this stuff here, shows that we own it, and some expensive things. Sold for 12,000, nice. Let's see if anything new in here. Ooh, that's really slow, but that's, I think we're probably okay with what we have right now. Right, let's go pick up the rest of those pieces down here. Oop. Okay, apparently that's all I could hold. Oh, it's because I have all these things in my... Oh, the ceramic armor. Yeah, let's check that out. I forgot about that. Oh. Yeah, that's a bit of an improvement over my other one. Yeah, it just took me from 60 to 132 armor. So yeah, that's, and armor is basically your, like, literally the plating on the outside of your ship. So when your shields are down, you start taking damage to the armor. It's pretty Star Trek-y, straightforward. But now with that plastic armor, I could probably sell it. We'll see how much I can sell it for. Actually, I think I might buy one. These are crafting parts, and if I only have a couple, this shows that I only have 2. I will usually buy a few, 5 more, just to have them on hand. You never know what you're going to be able to make with things like that, so it's kind of nice to buy them when you can. We're going to sell our commodities, and then we're going to look at this. Yeah, oh, that's the trade beacon. Oh, so that armor's only, well, it's worth 15,000. That's actually kind of a lot. The trade-off is always, do you want to sell it, or do you want to break it down and make it into parts? Because not only... So you go to crafting, salvage, yeah, plastic armor. So that asterisk means that I do not have the crafting, I don't know how to make armor at this time. So that would give me the crafting recipe, if you will, and I'd be able to make it. It doesn't necessarily mean I can make it, and there is a certain argument to saying, especially, I believe that armor sells for quite a bit of money. So if you get the parts for it, you can craft armor and go and sell it and make a bunch of money, even if you don't need it. In this situation, though, I believe that I do indeed need the money for it. So, basically, I think I need the money more than I want that. I think that I'll get future ones, you know what I mean? When I find better armor and stuff like that, I'll be able to do it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to sell it, because 15,000 is actually a pretty good amount of cash for me at the moment. So we're going to do that. Okay. Back down here, we're going to pick up these last few things, hopefully, yeah, and then we'll sell them off. And then I think we are ready to jump to Sector 9. Corkscrew, cool, we're going to buy those too. Exchange. Outfitter, looks like it's still all the same stuff. Is there, nope, still nothing there, okay. Alright, so now we're going to head over here to the warp. I don't think there's anything else for me to check. Those are stars. I can't go to there. We were more or less done there. There is a cave, but that obviously wrecked us pretty good last time. That's where caves, it's very helpful to have that specific officer that heals you as you go, because you can kind of just dance around. Oh, here we go. We have a pirate that is attacking us. Small. His attitude is insulted. Threat very low. So let's see what happens. I'm going to shoot him. And my weapons are recharging, but I took him from 100 down to 34%. And boom. He really didn't have much of a chance. So, and now what we want to do before we go, installation, we want to throw that trade beacon back on there. Boom. Okay, on to Sector 9. Planet Sector 9 is infested with burning essences. Kill them, you will receive coordinates upon arrival. That kind of sucks, because burning essences are basically these blobs that if you don't kill them right away, they kind of shoot off little smaller blobs, and they kind of just bounce all over the place. And I swear that there's something not quite right in this build of the game, which stinks because it's probably the last build this game will ever have, unless someone in the community manages to kind of modify it. These things are crazy, and they just swarm all over the place. And it's got to the point now, I've been burned by them, figuratively and literally, by them so many times that I just basically bail on the planet as soon as I come across them, because they will just multiply behind you while you're exploring a planet, and you're unable to get back to your shuttle, and you just run out of oxygen if you just don't get killed by them. You just get swarmed by them. It's ridiculous. And we know here's the banker station. That's the place, so we can go back and switch back there. Alright, so let's explore a little bit. He looks large. Nope. Oh, there are a lot of pirates here. So, when it comes to your shields, you have a cooldown before they start regenerating. And every time you get hit, it resets that cooldown. My cooldown is 6. So you can kind of do that. Now it's regenerating, and it regenerates by recharges 11. So that's how much it recharges each turn thereafter. So you can see that I'm, oops, and I just flew way too close to because I wasn't paying attention to a black hole, and that really messed me up. And these are ion storms, which I believe also damage your shield. So you don't really want to go through them. I thought I had. Sucks. Oh crap. Yep, that's what happens. There's a nice little effect that was actually added into the game later. Sometimes when you destroy one, a pirate shipwreck will form, and it's something you can board, which is actually pretty cool. It's a nice addition to the game. So these, you need a special thing for these asteroid belts to be able to clear them. I think I had a guy before that could do it, and now I think he died. So now we can't clear those, which stinks, because they tend to be actually a decent source of... Oh, jeez. Alright. Wow. There are a lot of... Holy cow. Yeah, that's a lot of pirates. Holy... Yeah, we're going to go back here. And we are going to resupply. Oh, we can hire a new person. See, this is nice. Game throwing us a bone here. That is social, which is like, so I remember, pretty much the worst. The worst thing. Let's see if there's anything good. Ceramic armor, no. Laser pistol's worse than what I have. Minesweeper clears away mines safely. I do not need that. Defensive piercing torpedo. That is a big no. Okay, I'm not going to pawn anything. Contracts. This is basically where you pick up new quests just to make money and do stuff. And we'll pick up one of those. Okay, so... Alright, we've recharged our shields. Alright, killed that guy. We're all hanging out down here, which is... Completed bone saw. Location unknown. Return to any space station. Reward. Do you accept this? Yes. But that was returning to a space station, which is not the same thing as a banker station, so I can't just take it here. Yeah, that's what you get. Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, this might be the end of the game here. There is a huge dude here, and he is gonna wreck me. Yep. There's your game. Well, that was a brief view for anybody who managed to watch this on Approaching Infinity. That is kind of how this game goes. You kind of get wrecked when you weren't either paying attention, or you get caught in a bad situation when a giant ship comes out of nowhere and starts wrecking you. Probably could have handled it if it was by itself, but with all the small ones flying around, they'd kind of worn down my shield, and I didn't realize it. So he also did a lot of damage with each shot, so I don't know if I was really in the best place to handle him. So I was a Renegade Pirate Raider, played for 11,000 turns, earned 310,000 credits, and spent most of them, thankfully. Destroyed 34 ships, killed 375, and led 29 crew to their deaths. Completed 9 quests and found 1 artifact, allied with 2 races, and I was at war with 2, and had 202 fame and 10 infamy, and was playing on easy, and that just shows you that this game is difficult. But appreciate anybody watching. Probably fire this up again at some point in the future. Maybe start a new one and see what we can do. Maybe try a different class or a different ship or something like that. See what happens. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.